Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. This is Geoff of Fluent American, and again, we're going to be taking a look at this picture, kind of describing some key vocabulary for it. As we go through this, of course, I'll also kind of practice some of the pronunciation with you for these terms. And of course, if you have questions as we go through this, be sure to post them into the chat box because I will be taking a look. Also, just some quick reminders about things. We have a pronunciation group available, so if you want daily pronunciation practice and feedback, you definitely want to be in our Telegram group. You can find more information about that at patreon.com/fluentamerican. I'm going to post that into the chat box. And by the way, sorry if I look away a couple times. I have my setup on my second screen, so I can help identify some of the key vocab that we're going to be mentioning today. Additionally, if you're looking for pronunciation classes and things like that, on our website, we just got a new scheduling software, so you can find opportunities here for sign up for classes and things like that. So if you're looking for pronunciation classes, just go to fluentamerican.com, click on the classes tab, and then that will get you through, so that way you can take some classes with me, so we can take a look and see what's going on. All right, but like I said, for today, we're going to be really focusing on this classroom that you see right here, identifying some key vocab. And like I mentioned before, if you have questions about things, be sure to let me know. Okay, let me put that there so I can see, in case anyone has questions and things like that. Okay, so again, this is a picture of a classroom. So that's what you see here. And just kind of taking a moment just to kind of see everything that's going on. Let's kind of identify some of the quicker things. So you can see, for instance, where the teacher would write. You have a, let's change my tool here. Okay, so this right here, this would be a blackboard. And a key thing with a blackboard is that ah sound, ah. When you make that ah sound, what you're doing is you're opening your mouth really wide, and you're lowering the back of your tongue, you're lowering the front of your tongue, and you're raising the middle. And again, it sounds like ah, ah, blackboard, blackboard. And notice that it's not going to be blackboard, it's blackboard. So you're not pronouncing that breath in between the K and the B. Okay, you want to hold the breath and then release on the B. It's like blackboard, blackboard. It's not blackboard, it's blackboard. Okay. Nowadays, though, in classrooms, what you see is you see fewer blackboards, and a lot of times you see more whiteboards. Okay, and a whiteboard, the difference is the material you're using. So for instance, on a blackboard, the thing you're using is called chalk. Okay, like C-H-A-L-K, chalk. Aw sound. Notice that the L is not really pronounced. It's more of an aw, like saw or law, chaw, chalk, chalkboard. Whereas on a whiteboard, you're using what's called a marker. So blackboard, chalk. A whiteboard is going to use a marker. Specifically, it's called like a dry erase marker. And it's called dry erase because to wipe it, you just need like a cloth. So you have a dry erase marker. Great. Okay, so that's probably one of the most common features in classrooms, right? Is making sure that you have a chalkboard or a whiteboard, something to write with. That's pretty key material if you're a teacher. Obviously, this classroom looks a little bit older. I'm personally looking at the desk, and I think they look so great. But the idea is, I think, is still going to be the same. So you have the chalkboard. You can see in the top right corner, pretty common in classrooms in the U.S. to have a flag. In fact, that's how school often starts. Is you get to school, maybe before your first class begins, you have to do like a pledge of allegiance to the flag. It's super common at schools. Some other things that we got going on. So here we have a chair. More specifically, you can see that it has some wheel action going on. You can see some wheels at the bottom. So this is going to be a swivel chair. Okay, and swivel, what that means is that you can kind of go like this direction. You can go like left and right, or even like a full rotation. So that's why it's called a swivel. And of course, this swivel chair can also roll around on the floor. Okay. And then that space where the teacher would sit, you have this is just just call this a desk. More specifically, you could say like a teacher's desk. Okay. So you have this teacher's desk. You have the swivel chair. You can see lots of little flowers. So specifically like the blue one that you see over here, you have this blue vase. Okay, so you can say vase or vase. But again, that's to be holding flowers. And then this one right here, I would just call this like a basket. So you have a basket of flowers, you have a vase of flowers. You have another vase of yellow flowers over here. Okay. Also, while I'm in this area of the classroom, talking a little bit more about the blackboard here. So the place where you would put the chalk, like this long thing right here, this would be the ledge. Okay, so the ledge of the chalkboard. That's L-E-D-G-E, ledge, ledge. Also make sure that when you're saying ledge, L-E-D-G-E, what you're doing is it's voiced. So you want to make sure your throat's vibrating right here. When you say that just sound, make sure it's you're feeling some movement. Otherwise, it's going to sound like lech, lech. But it's not lech, it's ledge, ledge. Also for this S sound, what you're doing is you're raising the back, the front, and the middle of your tongue. Raising that up. And again, it should sound like like le, ledge, ledge. Some other things that we can see too. Still in terms of the desks. So again, where all the students are sitting and things like that. These are all just desks. Wood desks. Sometimes I have students that sometimes they struggle a little bit with like adjectives for materials. Like they may say that like, oh, like it's a, I don't know, like a golden watch, when really it's just gold watch. You know, so sometimes those materials you can just keep in the adjective form. It's the same thing here. It's going to just be a wood desk. You don't need to say a wooden desk. You can just say a wood desk. Okay. And how about the floor that you see everywhere? So this type of floor is going to be called a hardwood floor. Hardwood. And common, at least in the U.S., common in houses, common in older buildings, and things like that. So hardwood. Notice that when you say a hardwood, like a hardwood floor, we've mentioned 3-word groups in the past. I would say this is another, almost like a 3-word group. Hardwood floor. So you're going to stress hard, and you're also going to stress floor, but wood is going to get a little bit reduced. So you don't need to emphasize that. It should not receive stress. You're really just stressing hard, and you're stressing floor. Hardwood floor. Hardwood floor. So you have the desk. Then just basic stuff. You have the chair. Real quick note for like the part of the chair that holds it up. It's like this part right there. This is the leg. Okay, so chairs have legs. Tables have legs. Things like that. Okay. Yeah, so we have our desks, we have the hardwood floor, we have the teacher's desk, we have the swivel chair, we've got some books going on, we have the vases, the flowers, some other things that we see hanging over here on the wall. We have our map. Okay. And this is, again, especially like in older classrooms. Sometimes when I visit schools and things, I don't necessarily see these as often, but especially in like, at least at the school I went to when I was a kid, every classroom had like a map of like either like the U.S. or the world or whatever. Especially kind of like these older style ones that kind of roll up and down. Okay. Okay, so over there we have a map, we have the lights, we have the windows. And these windows are great because you can see how long they are. Typically, you're going to find, I feel like in a lot of schools, you're going to find windows that are, they don't usually go up that high, but these are, they're a little bit skinny. Skinny as in they're not super wide, but they are very tall. Just some like basic window vocab for you too. So like this bottom part of windows, this is called the sill. You can also say the windowsill. Okay, so like this bottom part of the window is a sill. And you want to be careful with that because of that short I sound, right? So it's not seal, it's sill. Sill, the short I sound. What you're doing for that short I, again, the back of your tongue is down. The very tip of your tongue is down. And then the middle of your tongue is slightly raised. And then real key is that the sides of your tongue on the left and the right, they're touching your top teeth. Okay, so again, it should sound like eh. It's not e. Okay, so just something to keep in mind for that. Okay, so it's not seal, it's sill. So you have the windowsill. And then, of course, inside the glass, and it kind of depends on what time period your windows are from. A lot of times now you see kind of more single pane. But in this window, for older windows especially, they would have like 4 separate like panels of glass. And this is called like the pane, like the window pane. That's like the actual glass that you'll see. So nowadays, at least in the US, super common for windows to be double pane. So like there's a pane that's more on the inside, and then there's a pane that's more on the outside. And it's just better at things like insulation. This was another key thing you want to be thinking about for windows. You want to make sure that whatever air you have, whether it's cold air that you want to keep inside or hot air that you want to keep inside, you have what's called insulation. Okay, so insulation is a key part of windows in terms of trying to make sure your house stays warm enough or cold enough, depending on the time of the year. Okay. Yes, we talked about the windowsill, legs, chalk, other things that can be important here. Just going to get a new layer for us. Give me one sec. Okay, so some other things that we've missed. This part right here, so kind of, you know, when you have a room, a lot of times there's this area between the floor and the wall, and what you'll find is sometimes to be a little bit more decorative or just look a little bit nicer, they'll have what's called a baseboard. So base, B-A-S-E. Write that a little better. So B-A-S-E-B-O-A-R-D. Okay, so these are the baseboards. Okay, so again, it's kind of connecting the floor to the wall in a way that just, again, looks a little bit more decorative. I know sometimes in houses that would be part of your chores. So again, your chores are kind of like tasks that you have to do around the house. Oftentimes parents give them to kids. For instance, when we were kids, one of our chores was you have to clean the baseboards. You have to wipe the baseboards down with soap and a rag or something. Okay. So you have the baseboards there. Some other little things that we can see, for instance, up here. They'll have different decorations and things. Specifically, this is a portrait. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions about anything as we go through this, be sure to let me know. Yep. So right here you have a portrait. Okay, and again, a portrait is specifically like a picture of a person. Specifically, that person looks like George Washington, the first president of the U.S. Okay. When you're saying portrait, just to kind of talk a little bit about these R sounds. Pour, or. You want to make sure that, because one difficulty I see with students is they tend to rush the vowel sound a little bit. And remember, English is really just paying so much attention to vowels. So when you're saying portrait, you want to make sure that that O sound, again, that's that diphthong. You're starting with your mouth wide, back of your tongue high, front of your tongue down, like and then you're going to small round lips and lowering your tongue, like oh, and you get small round lips there. And then after that, moving into your R sound. So just make sure you get that O sound strong enough before you get to the R. So it's not per, it's or, pour. So if you find that that's a hard sound to say, pour, my suggestion would be just kind of practice, first of all, just saying O, but then move on to just practice saying or, just to make sure you're holding that O sound long enough. And then lastly, for trit, I know you see the letters A, I here, but it's actually going to sound more like a short I sound, like in sit or quick or build, trit. And then lastly, the letters TR. So a lot of times when you have the letters TR together, you're going to make like a ch sound, ch. So like portrait, trit. So it's almost like a CHR, trit, portrait. And again, stressing the first syllable there. Okay. So you have your portrait. Other key things that I think we missed. Sort of a chair, desk, teacher's desk. Okay. Oh, really quick, just some other things related to chalkboards since we have this one here. Other things you need for the chalkboard, well, you need an eraser. Okay, erasers are those things that you use on chalkboard to remove whatever it is that you wrote. Okay, so you have your erasers. If you're familiar with chalkboards too, in the past, what you had to do was you had to clap the erasers. So when erasers get really dusty, because they just pick up chalk all day, right? So when they get really dusty, what you need to do to clean them is you need to dust them. You need to clap them together just to remove some of that dust and things like that. Okay, so let's kind of just review all of the things that we mentioned. And of course, if you have some other questions or things like that, be sure to let me know. But let's say all these words again. Starting with what we see here. First one, portrait, portrait, eraser, eraser, clap, clap, baseboard, baseboard. And again, stressing base when you say that. Okay, so we have baseboard. Or other words. Okay. Starting on top right again. Whiteboard. Whiteboard. Stressing white. Flag. Flag. Blackboard. Blackboard. Ledge. Ledge. And again, making sure that it's voiced. You feel vibration in your throat when you say that. Vase. Vase. Chalk. Chalk. Swivel chair. Swivel chair. Teacher's desk, teacher's desk, basket, basket. Notice again that second syllable on basket again has that short I sound as well, like it, basket. Pane, pane, insulation, insulation, dry erase marker, dry erase marker, stressing erase. Okay, so it's not dry erase marker, it's dry erase marker, stressing the middle word, erase. Map, map. Window, window. A couple of just quick things on window too. Again, short I sound to start, so it's not ween, it's when. And then make sure you're holding that last syllable with the O sound long enough. So it's not window, it's window. Window. Strong O sound at the end. Okay, especially for instance, like Russian speakers tend to make that a little bit too soft. More like an ah sound, but you want to make sure it's a strong O sound. Also, sill. Sill, the window sill. Chair, chair, hardwood, hardwood, again stressing hard, leg, leg, again the leg of the chair, desk, desk, wood desk, wood desk. Again, we didn't really mention this, but again, wood, wood. This is the same sound as the modal verb, so W-O-U-L-D. And key things for this sound, it's not woo, so it's not wooed. It's wood. Notice that my lips are straighter. Wuh, wuh. Look how straight my lips are. My mouth's a little bit open. Wuh, wuh. So as soon as the W sound is done, straightening your lips, open your mouth a little bit. Back of your tongue is high. Front of your tongue is down. Wood. That tends to be a tricky sound for people. If you find that it's a little bit difficult for you to say, what you can do is you can smile a little bit, because that will help you tense your lips. So again, like wood, wood. Notice again, by doing that, by smiling, what I'm doing is I'm tensing my lips. I'm making them go this way so that way they don't stay round. Okay, you don't need the smile to do it. It's just something that can help if you find that you always round your lips for that sound. Wood desk. Hardwood. Hardwood. Great. Yep, so like I said, guys, just some other quick reminders. Again, if you're interested in scheduling some classes, again, take a look at fluentamerican.com. And you have the option to, again, schedule something. If you click the classes tab, you'll see availabilities in my schedule. You can pick things that work for you. And again, it'll already adjust for time zone. Okay. Also, of course, if you're interested in getting daily pronunciation practice and feedback, take a look at patreon.com. And we have a group for our Telegram. So then for a certain amount, you can join and receive daily pronunciation practice and feedback every single day. So those are our key things that I just wanted to highlight for you guys. Of course, if you have other questions for me about English, pronunciation, feedback, topics that you would like to see in the future, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a future video. Thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate your guys' support. I will take care. I'll have another video coming out for you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon. Take care.